Have you ever tried the exact same prompt and the first answer was amazing, but the second one was, oh, or totally off? Why do the same prompts give different answers? Most of the time, it's not the model getting worse. You probably turn the randomness style too high. If you are using a chatbot UI such as ChatGPT or Gemini, you don't get access to the real control knobs, temperature, and the top_P. But if you are accessing those AI models' APIs, you can tweak them to make the model's responses more stable. Today, let's learn more about what they are and how to utilize them. Top P is the cumulative probability threshold used in nucleus sampling. Temperature is the sampling parameter that reshapes the probability distribution before sampling. You can interpret these two definitions this way. Imagine these white dots are tokens. Each dot represents a possible next token the model could output. Top P is about what can be chosen. Think of the green box as a filter. The model sorts tokens by probability, then keeps only the smallest set whose total probability adds up to top P. Everything outside the box is ignored. Therefore, it is the pool size of selectable tokens. Temperature, on the other hand, is about how tokens are chosen from the pool that top P defines. Lower temperature yields more stable and repeatable results. Higher temperature yields more varied results. If both top P and the temperature are high, you are randomly choosing a lot of tokens from a big pool. Then the possibility of receiving an unexpected result is high too. Now let me use 3 quick demos to show you the differences between different value combinations of these two. Why do I use these combinations? I use OpenAI's API settings as the basis for testing. According to OpenAI's API reference, top P ranges from 0 to 1, whereas temperature ranges from 0 to 2. The prompt I'll use for these 3 demos is this. Please describe how to use the OpenAI API to build a chatbot in exactly 3 bullet points. Each bullet max 12 words, no examples, no extra text. Okay, the first demo. Top P equals 0.1 and the temperature equals 0, meaning I restrict the model to only the most probable tokens from a tiny nucleus, and remove randomness to maximize the stability and the repeatability. That little f at the end just tells the compiler to treat 0.1 as a float. I have created a .NET 8 Blazor web app with OpenAI's .NET library for this test. Here is the method used to send the prompt, as well as the options I want the model to use. Previously, I just set the max output token to 1000. Now, let me add options.temperature to 0f. Then set options.topP to 0.1f. In OpenAI's .NET library, top P is the equivalent of top_P. The 0.1 means the top 10% of the most probable tokens. Okay, execute the app. Please describe how to use the OpenAI API to build a chatbot in exactly 3 bullet points. Each bullet max 12 words. No examples and no extra text. Okay, hit ask. Here is the response. Now let me copy the prompt and paste it into the input field to ask the same question again. As you can see, the 2 responses are almost identical, only the last 4 words are different. Now, demo 2. Top P equals 0.5 and temperature equals 1. And let the model select tokens from the top 50% of the most possible tokens, and allows a higher variation of the response. When temperature is high enough to see some variation in the result, restart the application. Let's try the same prompt again for the first time. Now let's try the prompt the second time. You see, the response is different from the first one. Higher settings for the two parameters cause a noticeable variation. Okay, now demo 3. This time, we push randomness to the limit. Top P equals 1 and the temperature equals 2. Let's see what will happen. Paste in the same prompt. Okay, here comes the response. Wait, what? What you are seeing right now is the AI hallucinating. We often use the word hallucination to describe when an AI gives inaccurate or made-up answers. But now you should understand that hallucinations often happen because the model has too much freedom in what it can randomly choose, so it ends up making things up. Now you understand the rationale. When exactly do you use what then? The rules are simple. When you need something more stable and predictable, which you cannot afford made-up data, such as JSON objects or SQL results, conservative settings are preferred. On the contrary, if you want brainstorming ideas, try looser settings. Here is a reference table you can use to state their values in your application. I made this table according to my own experience. You can adjust the settings to whatever you think fit. Try not to set the temperature too high to reduce hallucinations. But if you really don't know how to set their values, then you can follow OpenAI's default settings. Set both top P and the temperature to 1, which suggests a certain variation but not too dramatic. Okay, now you understand why the same prompt yields different results, and how to utilize the top P and the temperature parameters in your GenAI applications. You can download the sample code from the link in the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notifications. See you in the next shot.